I'm going to be explaining all of the new features that we just launched for the All Access plan in Edgeful. So this is Edgeful, this is the platform, and I'm going to be going over all the new things that we launched. So just starting from top to bottom, I'm just going to go from the top, all the new features, all the way down. So we added this indicator idea button where you can actually request us to build a custom indicator for you. So if you don't know, we have a bunch of custom indicators that we've built that will automatically just make your life easier. We have some for inside bars, market sessions, orb, initial balance, gap fills, etc. So you can actually request access to those right here. You just click on this, and then you just put in your TradingView username, which is right here. So you just, very easy to find, just click on your little profile button and it'll be right there. So you just punch that in, you'll automatically get access to all of our indicators and all the new ones that we released too. So make sure to do that. So we added the ability for you to request custom ones. If we don't have something, you can ask us to build it and we will. We also have this report idea. So if we don't have a certain report that you want to see, we will build it out for you too. So one of the biggest things that we've built is the ability to customize your reports. So in this case, you can see the gap fill percentage. It's defaulted at 100%. But you can change how much of the gap you want to see filled. So let me actually explain what that means. Let me just take off this indicator here, and let's find a good example here. Okay, perfect. So in this case, this is the previous day's closing price, and then this is today's open. So you can see there is a gap down here, and then you can see that the gap down is just about 75, let's just say 80 cents. So if it's 80 cents, it would have to come up 80 cents to fill that gap to touch this line here. What you can do here is to say, well, I only want to see if it fills 50% of the gap. So now, let me just show you actually the difference between what the results become. So here you can see that the gaps fill 60% of the time, just over 60% of the time in either direction. But if you change this to 50% of the gap, now this becomes close to 80% in either direction, but what that means for the report is you only want to check if this is an 80-cent gap, you only require it to reach 40 cents. So now you have a much higher probability that it's going to fill half of this gap. So let me show you a different example here just so we have a good example. All right, this is another good one. So price closed here. Let me just remove those. Price closed here, opened here the following day. So again, this would be a, let's just say a dollar gap. It's 97 cents, but let's just say it was $1. When you have this 50% selected, you're only going to be looking for it to fill half of the gap, or 50 cents. So now your win rate has increased by almost 50% here because you're going from 60 to 80. So you can change this to 80% of the gap. So in this case, if it was going to be $1, you'd want to see it rise 80 cents, right? So you'd want to see it rise 80 cents, and you're just taking a percentage of whatever that overnight gap is. So the ability to customize these reports is something that's very big. I'm just going to switch to the orb, for example, here. And what we allowed you to do is change your time frame for the orb. So a lot of these reports are going to have customization. So right now you're looking at the 15-minute. You can also drop this down to the 5-minute, click save. And you're going to see right here that you've now changed your time frame. So now you're looking at the 5-minute orb. So I'm just going to go back to the gap fill report here. I'm just going to go to the 100%. That's the one that I like to see. And as we go down here, we've also added a table. So this actually shows you all of the days that make up these stats here. So 62% of the time a gap up has filled. You can actually see every single day if it was a gap down, if it was a gap up, and what the size of the gap was, and if it filled or not. So let's say you just wanted to see the gaps up, for example. So I'm going to type in gap up, enter. Right there, gap up, enter. Now, this has filtered for all of the days where there's just a gap up. Now, what if I want to see the days that have not filled or filled? So I can sort here by filled or not filled. I can also filter by, let's say, filled. So now I'm only looking at the gaps up in this table. I'm only looking at the gaps that have filled, and now I can see all the dates that happened. And then more importantly, if I click right here, view price chart, now I can see the actual price action from that day. So you can go in and look back at all the days where these gaps have filled or not filled and actually see, okay, this is what happened. There was a gap up here. It filled clearly, price came down and filled this gap. You can change the time frame here, 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute. So that's something that has been a huge request of like, I want to see the actual days that have occurred. The other thing finally that we added was on the future side, you can actually start to create your custom sessions. So let me just explain this. Let me just delete this one for a second. So you have the ability now to create a custom session. Let me delete that. I'm going to click save. And what this means is right now we have these defaulted New York, Tokyo, Sydney, London, and a daily session. Some people like to trade an earlier New York session, so they want to start at 8:30 instead of 9:30. But our data here only starts at 9:30. So what you can do is once you open this up here, you can see learn more about custom sessions. Now this is a little explainer graph showing what you're doing actually. So it says no custom sessions yet. All you have to do is click this box, the little plus button, New York early, and that's going to be at 8:30 to 4. I'm going to click save, and then now that's going to appear right here. So I'm going to click on that. And now what has happened is I'm looking at a different time frame. So I'm going to switch to ES here. And then I'm going to go to our indicators actually. I'm going to go to the market sessions indicator. And then you can see here, each of these sessions are outlined by a certain color. What I'm going to go to the settings here. Uncheck London and Tokyo, so they get hidden. But more importantly, I'm gonna change this to 8:30. So now my session is starting earlier. So when you have a certain session here selected, you are only looking at the data within this session. You are ignoring the data outside of it. So what you're doing is you're recreating your open and close times, your open and close of the day, to whatever times you have selected here. So in this case, your new open is here rather than over here. I'll try to find a better example. This is a great example, actually. This is CPI. So if you're starting your open at 8:30, your open would be down here. But if you do the traditional regular trading hours, your open would be all the way up there. So you just need to be very careful about what session you're on. And if you like to trade an earlier session, then you can do that here by changing your start and end times. So here, I want to go to that 8:30, and that's the session that I'm going to have in edgeful. So you want to make sure that you properly translate that to your trading view. So custom sessions are a very big one. You can have more than one. You can have as many as you want if you like to look at different data. And you can name them whatever you want. So edgeful session, save, and you can have them all here now. So that is the overview. A lot of these reports have customization now, so go through the reports, make sure that you're looking at these. We also have report favoriting, which is another big one. So you can see that I have this report favorited. All you have to do is click on this little bookmark, and then now all your favorite reports are going to appear in one drop-down, regardless of what report type they're in. So we have 3 report types: volume, price action, volume, and indicators. And when you favorite one, it's going to appear all in the same area. So let me just go and favorite one in the indicators section, just so you can see. So I just favorite it just like that. Now this is filled, that means it's favorited. And I go to my favorites. Now you can see that right here. So regardless of the report type, you can have everything in one place. So we know that we have a lot of reports. This is how you can kind of consolidate your focus to look at exactly what you want. Go through this in the morning, and then you can have everything in one place. The last thing that I want to touch on is our dashboard. This is going to be customizable very soon. So this is having all the reports in one screen. What you're going to be able to do now or soon is customize what reports appear in your dashboard. So you'll be able to say if you like to use the orb, the initial balance, and the gap fill, you'll be able to have it right here: orb, initial balance, gap fill, and whatever else you want to include. So those are some of the features that we have. Please go through this, play around with it. We have a free trial, so you can try everything risk-free. You can see all the customization that we have. I only cover 2 reports, but we have it for a lot of them. So highly, highly recommend checking that out. If you have any questions, you can reach out here. We also added help sessions for edgeful specifically. Like if you have questions on the report, you want a video walkthrough, you can get on a call with me. You can do that here in the help session button. And then a mentorship call, we have them as well, which is a conversation that you and I will have about applying these reports to your actual trading. So take advantage of those while they're still available. We just added them. So I'm not sure how long we're going to keep them, so take advantage of that. And then if you have any questions over email, just click over to this support button here. So I hope this is helpful. And if you have any questions, please don't be shy to reach out. Thank you.